It's so simple. Everyone can do it. Yes, best in slots. Look at that thing. Oh my god. Woof! Alright, what is going on, vampires across Varderon? So you want to be the highest level on the map. You want to absolutely annihilate in PvE and PvP. Well, in order to do that, you're going to have to go on a legendary quest. And I call it a quest, even though it's crafting, because it is an adventure and a half to get the materials required to make a legendary. I have already put 150 hours into Gloomrot with my media kit, and I am just about to craft my first ever legendary. It has taken me ages to get the mats and figure out all the steps, so I hope this simplifies the process for you. So I am going to first explain how legendary weapons work. Legendary weapons are dropped from bosses very rarely, depending on their level, and they come with a list of random attributes and random modified spell schools of magic and random percentages. So let's just dive into these four, which I've just kind of pulled at random other than the one I want to craft, so I can show you what I mean. Let's say you kill the behemoth or Styx, upwards of level 78 plus, and they drop you the Ghost Lord's Lacerators. So, this weapon, first and primarily, will drop with an ability modification, which is a school of magic-based left-click. So here, with the Ghost Lord's Lacerators, when you use abilities or left-click, you will infuse your enemies with Frost, which is part of course, the Frost spellbook, and that will chill them at first, and then eventually freeze them depending on what abilities you have, and jewel modifications, etc. So you can now use your weapon almost like a spell to set yourself up for some sweet, sweet combos. Now, diving back in, we rolled Chill, and now we have 5 attributes. This one actually rolled really good just looking at it, so primarily it's going to be the bottom 3. So we've got movement speed, weapon attack speed, and physical crit strike. These are all fantastic for slashers. I feel like these are great. You move faster when they're equipped, you're going to attack faster, and you're going to hit harder with your physical crits. And now looking at the percentages, we got about mid-roll for movement speed, low roll for attack speed, and a high roll for physical crit strike. So you can see when I mean max roll, if you're going for just grinding for drops to try to get the best legendaries in the game, it's going to take you a while. I have ground out something like, I don't know, 100 bosses, and I have never received a max roll, so it is a very challenging thing to achieve. Going to the left, we now have a experimental bullet storm for your pistols. This is going to be Chaos Infused, which I really like. It's just free damage over time, especially at range. I feel like this is going to be a great pistol. And it rolled Spell Power, Fizzy Crit Strike, and Spell Crit Strike. Max roll on Fizzy, top roll on Spell Power pretty close to max, and then a very low roll on Spell Crit. This is worth crafting in my opinion. Going forward, here we actually rolled a terrible attribute, and this can happen, and it does happen very often. One of my 3 random attributes is Resource Yield. I don't care about that, especially at endgame. I want damage, I want life leech, things like that. And then you can see it also rolled pretty high for spell power and physical crit. But here is the first weapon I am actually going to craft, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. So this is going to be my Weeping Determination, upgrading from my Sanguine Reaper here. And I like this, even though it didn't roll the best, because it rolled pretty high. I got near max for health. I got pretty high tier on physical crit strike and pretty high tier on spell life leech, and I can't grind anymore. I want my legendary, and I want it now because I want to go fight the shard bosses, which are very hard. The shard bosses are much improved from where they used to come from. So first I'm just going to craft this here live, and then I'm going to walk you through what it takes to get the materials and why I was saying it is an adventure and a quest. Because it is going to take you a while to get all the materials and understand how to get them. So this is going to be a bit of a long video, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. So in order to craft your legendary weapon, it's so easy, right? All you need is your legendary shattered weapon, 3 Onyx Tears, and a Primal Blood Essence. Wow, look, I got my legendary. It's so simple. Everyone can do it. Yes, best in slots. Look at that thing. Oh my god. Woof! Speaking of best in slot, this video is sponsored by GPortal. It's personally what I use to host tournaments, events, and community servers for V Rising, but they also have a host of other games available for rentals. You've got Conan Exiles, Ark, Survival, Evolved, Valheim, and more. It's trusted by 10 million players every single month, and I've been renting a server through GPortal for about a year. It's where we've given away thousands of dollars in esports prize pools. It is DDoS protected, easy customer service, and you can actually rent a server in as little as 3 minutes. You just click order now for V Rising. You're already there. You can see you can get 10 slots, 40 slots, however many you want, and for however many length of days. And it's very, very easy. You can configure your own server as well to figure out exactly what you want. Personally, I use these very often for 3-day events, like a Friday through Sunday event, or just to do like a speed run with my buddies on the weekend, or host like an Eclipse community tournament just for, like a dozen of us. So you can choose 3 days, and you can just go up and say, we want to do, a 60 player tournament, and then it comes out to being less than $15, and then you can just run like a massive event on the cheap. Obviously, the less vampires you have, the cheaper it'll be. So if you just want to do something with your friends for, a small amount of time, it's going to be very easy to do. And with that, I will see you guys on the other side. That is going to slay vampires and men alike. Now, let me show you why this is quite a bit of a grind. So in order to get Onyx Tears, you must go to the anvil and craft them. And it takes a lot of resources. So you're going to need dark silver ingots and gold ingots. And this is per Onyx Tear. So you are going to have to go over to Silverlight, and you're going to have to grind the Sacred Silver Mines quite a bit, or Brighthaven, and just like before Gloomrot, one vampire around level 75 plus can grind all of these monsters out and all these resources. I spent hours here, and I fought players non-stop. It is a constant struggle and a battle to control Brighthaven now, because everybody wants schematics for Blood Moon, they want the Silver Sun coins, they want the gold, all the high tier resources, all of this. So even though we have Gloomrot out and about, and I would say that Gloomrot is as tier 3 as Silverlight is, I mean Act 3 I guess we could say now, Silverlight is still the play of the century. You just get so much of Brighthaven that people are there from level 1 all the way to max level just trying to get stuff. Anyway, diving back in, then we need 3 power cores. So let us go on a journey, chat. Let us go into the heart of Gloomrot. In order to make power cores, I now need Radium Alloy and charged batteries. Simple. Okay, so Radium Alloy is forged from sludge-filled canisters, sulfur, and tech scraps. You get tech scraps all over Gloomrot, especially inside of Rustlock Village. I love this place. This is my grind central. You can also get Radium Alloy as a drop fairly rarely, but it could save you time crafting depending on how many resources you've gathered. But I'm going to actually take you on a journey right now, because we need to get some sludge-filled canisters to make the Radium Alloy, and in order to make our empty canister, we need iron and glass. So let us go get some glass really fast, which I have already ready to go. I have grinded for this video. So here we go. We got the iron and the glass all at once. Okay. So let us go with my horse into Gloomrot so I can show you what kind of grind you are up against and why it is a bit top tier, and it is very PvP centric. There are going to be a lot of players fighting, and it honestly feels bad. I died with 30 charged batteries, and I truly felt bad. It hurt my soul. So let us head over to, as I mentioned, we need sludge-filled canisters to make Radium Alloy. So let me fill this canister up, which we made at the fabricator with iron and glass. That is now filled with sludge. I will then mix that with tech scraps, which I get from the Gloomrot enemies, which I will showcase here very quickly. Boom, tech scraps. So I'm not gonna do too much grinding because I've already ground myself into oblivion, and I want to wait for launch to really do that sort of hardcore grind and get the max rolls. So okay, we've got the sludge-filled canister, we've got some tech scraps. Next, we need to get some charged batteries for our power core. So I need to kill some of the highest level enemies in the game and then go to one of 2 limited locations to charge my batteries. And no joke, I have fought a zillion vampires here and died and stolen their batteries back and forth over and over because you need them for basically everything at endgame. You need the power cores. Right now I don't have any, and I need 4 to fix my amulet. So you can see where it gets a bit dangerous to take deaths later on in the lifespan. I can't imagine full loot for Gloomrot. Alright, so we've got these high level monsters, right? This is level 64. I mean, you can see, even with my legendary, this is a bit of a battle. I'm way out leveled this. I'm 10 levels over this. These used to annihilate me, but you can still get a lot done. So let me just drop some random stuff really quick. The damage. So now we are going to Thunderstrike Peak, and you can see why I like to grind here because it's right on top of the peak, so I don't have to go very far to get my batteries. But only one player can do this at a time, and this is why it is so sort of PvP volatile, and why there's usually a lot of enemies here and a lot of PvP. Alright, so now we are at 30. Welcome to Thunderstrike Peak, one of 2 locations to charge batteries. So we begin the process of charging, and we just have to be careful because the more you charge, the more lightning that strikes this area. I have died here many times. This area is no joke, and the lightning hits you for an immense amount of damage, like an absolute ton of damage. And it sets you on fire, so if you even get hit one time, you often will lose, you know, just a massive chunk of your health pool. Alright, here's where we have to be careful. Once this is overcharged, lightning just spawns non-stop. The whole, I mean, and players can see this from other places on the map as well. And, you know, going toward it, you will definitely recognize that people are getting batteries, so... I don't want to get hit, because if I die here and someone takes my loot bag, I'm going to be pretty sad. So I'm just going to do what I like to do best, which is just leave. Which sometimes kills me as well. You can see that, you can see the lightning spawning right on top of me. Maybe I can go wolf here, hopefully. So now that we have our sludge-filled canisters, we will mix that with sulfur and tech parts to create Radium Alloy. You can see I got 2 while out grinding, but I mean, I was out there for a while, and oftentimes I come back with none. So we will just let some of this get going. I've got some tech scraps on the side somewhere as well that we could also put in here. Yes. Alright, so now we get the Radium Alloy, and then we mix the Radium Alloy with our charged batteries to create power cores. And you can see it's 3 for 3, so for each stack, I basically get 3 power cores. So now that we have our dark silver ingots, our gold ingots, the power cores crafting, the only other thing we need is blood Merlot. In order to make blood Merlot, you must go to Silverlight and go to the vineyards, which are across Silverlight. These are highly PvP volatile spots as well. And you farm for sacred grapes, and then you take a prisoner, mix their blood with grapes to create blood Merlot. It's very easy, and it doesn't matter what percentage it is. So I usually just tame random creatures and then slay them for their blood Merlot. Let's see if it's enough as well. 18 and 18, 18 divided, this will be 6, so I will have 3 for my legendary, and I need 4 to fix my amulet. So you can see where it takes a lot. Alright, so we're just going to put another fabricator down to sort of speed this process up. So I'm going to take 10 bats and some radium alloy, and then we'll get this going. Also in the fabricator you can make coins, so you can just buy things. And now we will have our 3 power cores, our blood Merlot, our dark silver ingots, and our golden ingots to make our first Onyx Tear. And with that, you are on your way to finishing your legendary weapon and coming out more powerful than you have ever been. I'm almost at 600 health as well, which is huge. I just probably need, I think, my last blood moon, and I think I would get there. Let me see. Yeah, definitely we would get there. And then I will go fight the shard bosses as well. So stay tuned for that video. And this has been how to craft your legendary weapon. Understand the attributes, the modifying percentages, and the School of Magic modifier that lands on your legendaries. I hope you all have a good one, and keep in mind as well, you can get Onyx Tears as a drop, so you don't have to go through this process if you don't want to. It's just usually you will already have gotten enough things for your Onyx Tear just by grinding through Gloomrot and fighting all the bosses. So you might have to go out of your way a little bit, but for the most part, you will get a lot of these mats, the materials, so to speak, just by playing the game. But you can get Onyx Tears as a drop. I've gotten them as a drop from Styx. Really, that's it. I think I've probably killed Styx 20 times. I think I've only gotten them twice, so it is a rare drop. But with that, I will see you all for the next one. Enjoy your legendaries, your Onyx Tears, and keep in mind you have to kill Styx to unlock Onyx Tears. And you have to kill Raziel at the least to get your Ancestral Forge to craft your legendaries and sub-legendary weapons. And when I say sub-legendary, I'm talking about your blue, your between tier Act 2 and 3 weapons. And then this is the top tier Act 3 weapon. So thank you all. If you have any questions, please put it down below in the comments. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will select one random commenter who has liked and subscribed the channel to win a DLC key for either Dracula's Relics or Sinister Evolution. And I'll see you for the next one.